right here is the first model that I ever kitbashed. I remember working on this project, building this little orc hiding in a barrel, and I remember how thrilling it was and how exciting it was to be able to really customize and change the models that I own. And I've come a long way since then, and I've learned a lot about this process. And in a way, it's very freeing to know how to kitbash and to be proficient in it. And I've learned a lot of things that have helped me be able to kind of free myself from the constraints of normal models and just be able to do whatever I want. So this is my guide, in a way, to kitbashing. Alright boys, full disclosure, we're needing subscribers right now, right? And if we're trying to grow this channel and do something great with it, I'm gonna need more people on board with me. So if you're enjoying this and if you want to see more videos from a slightly unconventional small YouTuber, please subscribe so we can grow this into something great. Alright boys, back to the video. Kitbashing can seem very daunting when you start out this process. It's a lot of courage to start chopping up the models that you spend so much time and money on. But really, with enough practice, it gets down to this routine that really frees you from the constraints of normal hobbying. So it can start one of two ways. Of course, there are other ways to do this, but these are pretty much the most common two. The first one is to get all the ideas out of your head onto paper. So grab a sketchbook and draw out all your thoughts and ideas, and then, based on those ideas, try and go and create those in the world. The second is to take the thoughts, ideas of other people, all the bits and all the models, and all the random pieces of junk you find. Put them all together and see what comes out of that. It's like a meat grinder of ideas and thoughts, and putting them all together really creates new things that you never really expected. So we're going to go through both ways and see how we come out today. Okay, so there's a quick little drawing session. Got a few things out, started getting the creative juices flowing. I have some ideas now, so we can start making, seeing how we're gonna work off this bits box here. So now is the fun part. Now we get to look through all these bits and all these models and see what catches our eye. So what we're looking for first is just something larger, like a full model or part of a model that we think could go really well with what we're trying to make. So first thing that's catching my eye here is this toy elephant. Now this could work pretty well as a blank or a sketch, you might say, to build off for our kitbash. I'm already having some ideas about this, so we're gonna run with this and see what else we can find. So what I do next is then push this back a little bit and start organizing by like mini project, right? So these three models here are going to go together in one final product. This is going to go in one final product, and this is going to go in one final product. I'm going to go through the bits box here and find little details and bits that can be added to these to flesh them out as a whole and give them some visual interest. So a lot of what I'm doing when I'm going through these bits is literally just like taking a bit, putting it on the model, seeing, okay, how could this fit? How could this work towards the final product? How could this work with this? And does that look good? Does that interest me? And how can I run with that? So my next step is going to just be whipping out a knife and anything that can cut and chopping all these bits up and seeing how I can work with them. What goes a long way here is using like blue sticky tack to help kind of stick the bits on as you're working with them in a way that's not permanent. You can just move them around later. So I actually can't find my sticky tack, so I'm just gonna be going without it, I guess. So now that I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing, I'm going to start doing the very basic but permanent stuff. So this is going to be like gluing stuff down, throwing in green stuff, and generally making a more rough idea of what's going on here, and then we'll add more details after that. So your greatest tools here are really green stuff and super glue. They're just really quick ways of attaching things together, and when you use them in combination, you can really get some good holds. So the next two things I'm going to bring out are these. This is just a jar of sand that I use for a lot of basing, and this is my jar of textures, as I call it. It's full of stuff that I like to put on models and terrain to give them some more character or better look. So I'll look through this and see what I can add to bring in some texture or some new feelings to the model. Alright, so once I'm happy with the amount of texture and character on these models, I'm gonna actually call it good and ready for priming. I'm obviously going to add a couple more details. I need to add the reins, this little wagon here, but I'm calling it pretty much good because I'm gonna add those after the painting. I'll just throw these on a piece of wood, prime them up, and start the process to get them ready to go on the table. I'm pretty happy overall with how these went, and I hope that you found this useful to be able to get your own kit bashing started and customize your own models. Alright boys, I'll see ya. Have a good one.